Hello, everyone. This is the Easy Allies podcast. I'm your moderator, Kyle Bossman, and joining us this week, Michael Damiani.
The person who's finally finished Dragon Ball Z!
Michael Huber.
Don't shoot! I'm a human!
And Brennan Jones.
Never seen a single episode.
What episode is that from? Don't Shoot, I'm a Human.
Oh, it's Resident Evil 2.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So we're bouncing around there in our intros this week.
Who are you?
Different roles.
What are you doing here?
So Damiani, I recall the last episode of Dragon Ball Z being Goku fighting Oob.
Yes.
Ooh, yeah.
And then he promises to train him because it's a reincarnation. He basically asks the Horn King guy in heaven Yami, something. Asked him, hey, can you do me a favor? Can you reincarnate Majin Buu, but as a good person? Yeah. And he's like,
King
sure,
Yemen.
I'll do this.
Yes.
So
King Yemen.
Goku doesn't know who it is, and he figures out it's Oob and stuff. He goes, my dream is he has like the other Majin Buu, the fat Majin Buu.
Yeah.
He has him rig the selection at the beginning so they fight each other.
I forgot about that.
He rigs it and then they fight, and then he's
Is that a callback to Chaozu, who used to do that?
basically, yep. It was
full circle,
totally
baby.
full callback. And at the end, he goes, sorry, Gohan, sorry, Goten, I'm going to train this person, but tell your mom bye. I'll see you in like a few years.
Does Oob
Those
ever
are his
show
children.
up?
When he says Gohan Goten Jones, he's talking to his children. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm going to train this kid.
Cool, thanks for the clarification on that.
Oob
Everything
shows
else
up-
I understood.
Does Oob show up in Super?
I don't know. Don't tell me. But he shows up in the first episode of GT, and Goku's just like, bye, thanks for training. He goes, I gotta go back to my mom and sister now. See you later.
Huber, you started Super. I feel like I should tell you. It takes place before that scene.
Oh.
It does?
It takes place before the last scene of Dragon Ball Z.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But GT's not canon, apparently.
GT's not canon.
Yeah, GT's not canon.
Oob is canon and Super is canon.
Okay, gotcha.
Super's before. That's weird.
It is weird.
I gotcha.
It is weird.
I gotcha.
Now let's play, and for that reason.
I love it.
Good evening, Easy Allies. Bingo Caller is a game where you host a bingo night for a group of elderly people. However, your objective is to not let anyone get bingo. So find ways to cheat and don't get caught by the more cunning players. That comes to us from Auntie Ben's.
So we're finding ways to cheat in bingo.
Yeah, we're not trying to win the game. We're just trying to make sure no one does.
I like this because if nobody wins, nobody feels bad.
And you can play all night.
You can just play all night, you know? Okay.
I'll tell you, I played bingo once at a firehouse, and they hated it. If an irregular person comes in and wins bingo,
When they're upset.
you just feel the chill. You feel the eyes because they're there every week, and then this little guy comes in and wins my $200. Is like, I got it, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! And it's just like, oh, I'm here every week. Sorry, Damiani, weird aside.
No, like I'm going off with this.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just like the Curb episode with Larry David when he shows up and
Wait, who's in Curb?
Larry David.
No, man. Why did you put his last name in there? All right, keep going.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
He's Larry David.
But yeah,
it's always Larry David.
Larry David. Larry David.
Larry David.
Larry David.
Yeah.
Goes into the retirement home and basically plays bingo with them, and he thinks he wins, and they just hate him, and they're like, let me take a look, and they're like, you're cheating. He goes, I'm not cheating. Like, she's cheating over there. Like, she didn't get that and stuff, and like he just gets so angry and stuff because the people regulars there, they just don't want him to win. Like, get out of here. You're not a part of us. Out of here. So good.
We need to rig it from the outset. We need to make sure that every single bingo card, just doesn't have one number. Like, we take one number, take the numbers out of the bingo roller.
Huber, you can do that early on in the game, but
Yeah.
eventually they get wise to that.
They'll know.
You can't use the same strategy every single week in the game.
Well, then you gotta have them ready to throw back in if someone calls you out.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good strategy.
You have them ready to go.
Well, it's also like that scene in Casino where he's like, the pit bosses are watching the dealers are watching these people. Like, you'd need people behind the players to look up at the ball person and be like, no 42, no 42. 42's a win right here. Can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous that the person that submitted this did not offer potential ways, at least one of a way you could possibly cheat at bingo or prevent someone from winning.
I mean, we're doing all the work here.
I cut them out. There are some here, some other ways to cheat.
Oh.
I mean, simply pulling the fire alarm is on there. letting a lion loose is on here.
Oh, okay.
It sounds like
And then,
serious
like-
unfortunate events level stuff.
Yeah, because like the lion comes in, the lion gets ready to run away, and then you switch the cards as they're gone, and then when they come back in.
Okay.
Count
Okay.
Olaf.
Okay.
So there's some ideas on here.
I like turning the lights off. Every single light we turn off for 6 seconds, and we do that like every hour. And when it's dark,
You doing little swapperoos?
we're doing little swapperoos.
Nice.
And because it's happening every hour, they're not even wise to it.
Cool. 2 minutes in this segment, I just want to remind everybody, it's called "And for That Reason."
I know.
We have to determine whether we want to pick up this game or
Well,
not.
you know, I need a little more information.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because I was gonna ask my question, like, do these reasons, the ways to be more devious and cheat, is there like any kind of like meter that says like its effectiveness rating or anything like that? So basically, do we have to like assemble a set of skills or cheats essentially? And is there a way to rate them?
Yeah,
and
it's a triangle.
And did they work on a cooldown system or something? Like you can't use it after a while. Like it's gonna.
It does.
Okay.
So there's a triangle that has 3 different points on it, and you can't go too far toward any one
Okay.
point. So if you go too far on the suspicion side, you can go really far to the left on the sweetheart side. But if you be too much of a sweetheart, they'll become more suspicious of you, and then like you'll lose the game. So yeah, it's a triangle. Suspicion, sweetheart, and
This is just way too high stakes. This makes me so nervous, and for that reason, I'm out.
okay. The game would be too stressful.
Too stressful.
Yeah.
Damiani.
I don't know. I feel like this is a concept I can get behind, and because it is, I think that you can really be clever in the ways that you come up with to like deceive these people and keep the game. But you're also doing it for their benefit, because you want to keep the game going. You want to have them like entertain them and stuff.
Because
So it's
only
like-
one person gets bingo.
yeah, like it's so
Yeah.
you're like denying that selfish, one person there for the greater good, and yeah, I could just see like I just. You know what? I just don't like playing bingo, but this is a clever spin on. You're not really playing bingo. You're trying to like mess up bingo, and for that reason, I'm in.
Wow. Brandon Jones?
If you've ever been to an actual retirement home and seen these people play bingo, it's almost all they have. I mean, for some of these people, this is such an important moment. You know, you wouldn't like somebody coming in and messing with you playing God of War, would you, Huber? No. For that reason, I'm out.
Just too disrespectful. Now's a good time to tell the audience that was the last time we're playing, and for that reason, on this very podcast. We'll have a new opening segment next week. One will go much smoother, one shorter.
It
But
was
man,
the finale, man.
I have a
It
good time, exactly.
was
I
the
love playing
extended
this.
episode.
Yeah, we gotta
Yes.
give
The
it a proper
extended
send-off.
finale.
Yes.
Will the new segment be Dragon Ball related?
Yes, yes.
Oh,
yes.
will? Okay.
Yes,
all right.
having on every episode. Kyle.
Yes,
At
it
least
will.
let me know what show it is, and I'll try to catch up.
Yeah,
I'll
try
at
to
least
catch
read a
up,
couple
Joe.
Wikipedia
So, John, yeah,
articles.
Hi, dude.
If
No
you could just
filler.
get like the first 2 arcs by next week, I think you'll be ready
Got
for
it.
the
Okay.
Yeah, I think you'll be ready for the opening segment.
No problem.
Jones, if you could, please begin the corrections music. Last week when we did And for That Reason, I credited the wrong author of the game. Chase Jones wrote our game last week, which was called Coincidental Planning. Jones, it was you were bullied in high school, and then you are a city planner.
I cut the podcast.
Okay. I heard it was good. Damiani, I got one for you, dude.
Good.
I actually noticed how good the cut was when Kyle was like, Jones, if you can hear me, you can play the really good cut. You came in like a second early with the noise. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
It's good production.
Yeah, Jones, that's above and beyond, dude.
Yeah.
Nobody forces you to listen to it and for that reason when you're doing an edit, Thank you. Damiani, only one of 9 Fire Emblem games was exclusive to Japan after the year 2003.
Cool. Probably thinking of Tails and confused Fire Emblem with Tails.
Cool. Here's one for me. Blaze Blue Cross Team Battle will have a season pass for the remaining 18 characters after the 2 Ruby ones. That's 20 buckaroos. There will also be, you can get them separately in 6 DLC packs, each including 1 character from Persona 4, Arena, Under Night in Birth, and what was the 3rd game in that series? Kyle, you got this? Oh, Blaze Blue, obviously. That's why I didn't write it down. There'll be like 3 character packs.
Cool.
So if you only care about Persona characters,
You can get the Persona pack.
Nice.
you can't.
You cannot.
Because
No.
the packs are one of each series.
Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry.
So you're probably going to want to
Gotcha.
get that season
Because-
pass.
Those Persona ones alone would cost so much more.
Yeah.
The Atlas tax.
No, they know what they're doing. Yeah,
Yeah.
they pack them up.
Oh yeah.
And correction music, please.
Just for the record, I just want to say I miss the podcast whenever I'm not on it, but it is a privilege to listen to the Easy Allies podcast.
Oh, wow, Joe.
That's why I listen to it, because it's fun to
Yeah.
I don't know what they're about to talk about.
Yeah,
I listen to it on like when I'm driving.
nice.
Just throw it on.
I listen to Cup of Jones every week.
You listen to Cup of Jones?
Yeah.
What's weird is, if you don't know what we're talking about when we say Cup of Jones, that's a $1 and
Yeah.
up. If you're a patron of patreon.com/easyallies, you get an exclusive show that isn't anywhere else other than our Patreon page. For me, I always feel like it's like a secret with Jones. I feel like you don't want us to see that.
Oh, of course. It's all. Yeah.
So you like that, Dominic?
I'm
intimate.
exposing
Oh, yeah?
myself, Kyle.
Okay, cool.
Come watch.
Very
All right.
intimate.
I watched the one we were talking about, like meditation, Jones.
Yeah.
You do get intimate on that show. Do you all know my favorite way to start an Easy Eyes podcast?
No.
I forgot, Kyle. What is it?
It's
I don't.
a game announcement.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love to kick it off with a game announcement. We actually have two this week. Well, second one, I don't go crazy about remasters, but we have a whole new game announcement this week. A game called Radical Heights.
Radical Heights.
Ooh, yeah.
Radical Heights is a battle royale game. It is developed by the studio who brought you LawBreakers, Boss Key Productions. It was announced and released Steam Early Access same day earlier this week. Pretty crazy.
That was such a smart plan to have, because they announced like they're moving on essentially from LawBreakers. They said we had a lot of passion for this game, and that like goodbye, like not a goodbye message, but like an explanation message.
That was this week too, actually.
Yeah, they basically said like, listen, like we wanted to succeed, it didn't. We're not gonna lie, but we can't keep throwing resources at this game. We have to move on to something else, and we're really excited to share what's next to you. Everyone's like, yeah, sure, okay. Well, like, when's that happening?
actually-
Boom.
And I think what's an interesting part about that letter as well is they brought up free to play. They said, "Hey, we know that like that was an option. We cannot support this game even in free to play right now."
For sure. And then they'd come out with this, like, yeah, we weren't lying. We've been working on something else. Here it is. Let's go.
They seem really upfront with the state it's in. They said it's extreme early access. I think.
Extreme early access,
Yeah,
for sure.
so the game has been in development for 5 months
5 months.
total. So I some of the Steam reviews, and just some of the comments are like, the textures aren't there. Like you walk into a room and it's just like brown. So it's like extremely
like blueprint
early
looking buildings. Yeah.
But it's Battle Royale is the meta right now. It's hotter than it's ever been. It's right now. This is the moment. So I think even releasing the game in this early of a state is a really smart move.
For sure.
Do we know what makes this different from other battle royale games? Well, let's just say
I know
two
the main
other battle
thing.
royale. What is that?
So you earn cash. It's presented like a game show type, like a Smash TV type thing. You accumulate cash, and that cash actually carries over to other matches. And I think that's really smart, because the main thing that gets me back into Fortnite day after day, week after week, is the Battle Pass. It's genius.
It's dailies, right?
You get daily missions to stars and weekly challenges, and when you earn enough things, you level up your battle pass and you unlock skins, emotes, hammers, icons, whatever. Whereas like PUBG, it's match based. You earn your currency to buy some crates or whatever, and you can like earn some cosmetic items. But I still like having these new missions and having these new modes and having these new challenges that pull me back in.
What does that have to do with money carrying
for
over between
long
matches,
term?
though?
Because it's getting me invested long term, not just the one match. When I play PUBG, it's like so singular. It's like, all right, I'm gonna win or lose this match, and it's like after you've won one, it for me personally, I'm speaking for myself. Like after I've won a match, the craving and the drive to win another one isn't as strong. It's like, all right, I've done it. I've won. But the drive to go back and finish these challenges and level up that battle pass and get these really special skins that take a lot of work and a lot of time to get keeps
I feel like this
bringing
is a
me
very
back.
different appeal, though, Huber. The money. That's strictly like this is just money. I feel like that's a very different appeal.
Yeah, quick question.
But it's carrying over, so there's, again, it's a form of progression. You know,
Got it.
there's no long-term progression in PUBG, and for me personally, that hurts. I have no incentive to like win. Like, I don't get anything. I get a little extra coin if I win, but like nothing really else.
Oh, so-
Whereas even if I'm winning or losing in Fortnite, it's like I'm getting stuff done long term.
You're right.
Long term.
I don't think we explain how it works in Radical Heights. Is there's ATMs, and so like you have an account, and so you
Yeah.
go to the ATM, you withdraw money, and then you can buy weapons within that world.
Yeah.
Whereas every other battle royale game, they're just randomly spawned the weapons. Here you can like, if you have that bankroll, you can go ahead and buy yourself a very nice weapon.
Yeah, as long as there's no like crazy game-breaking microtransactions where you can just buy all the money.
Oh yeah.
Then I think this is a pretty cool twist. You know, you got to do something different. And,
John,
that's something.
yeah, another thing that is different, I would say, immediately is the aesthetic of this game. How would you describe it?
80s neon. And you know, it's LawBreakers was kind of larger than life and had big personalities, and like there definitely is, there's just jokes everywhere. And like Fortnite's fun and cartoony, but like there's not a lot of jokes in the environment. You know, like there's not like billboards in Fortnite that have funny things on them. Like there's character to the environments themselves. You can go inside of a house and it's got a little character to it. It has the vibe that like there was an apocalypse and whoever lived here left. Whereas I think PUBG is just kind of like deserted. You know, I don't necessarily think you get like an apocalyptic vibe. But this is definitely, there's kind of like a Grand Theft Auto thing where there's like funny names for, you know, ads for sodas and, you know, like maybe fun movie posters and stuff like that. Not from, I'm not saying this from playing it, just from the images that I've seen.
They showed their arcade and all the arcade cabinets and
Yeah.
things like that. Sure.
Like a golf course, I think I saw. Like the environment looked pretty cool.
And just the premise itself, like PUBG and Fortnite do not have a premise. Like
Right.
you are not there for a reason. You are all just playing a game. And so it's interesting to have this, to have like a, I don't want to go so far as to call it lore, but like to have a purpose that you're there. And I think that would be interesting when they add new modes down the road, when it, you know, slowly becomes out of early access, to maybe double down on that aesthetic and maybe have, is there an announcer? None of us have played this, right?
There's
Like,
an announcer. I have not played it, but I do know there is an announcer.
I saw Craig from Game Attack was like, yeah, I turned that off real quick. He said I couldn't take that guy. But it'd be interesting if there were like personalities associated with it. Like, I don't know, does Ashley Birch from Ray, I think she's called, a little robot, does she pop up in Battle Royale at all? Does she ever talk?
Not in Battle Royale, no.
Okay.
No, there's no words.
But just it would be interesting if, you know, that's Smash TV, big money, big prizes. Like there's definitely a host kind of like,
Yeah.
you know, pushing you along. It'd be fun to add more characters that way, and maybe you can customize that and pick who you want to talk to while you're in the match.
I just really want a big incentive to win a Battle Royale. I don't think anyone...
what? I feel here's what I feel like.
Chicken dinner, cool.
Yeah, that's inherent. That's the best feeling in the
But
world.
like after you've done it once, like all subsequent victories, like again, I'm just speaking for me. Like I don't care about winning, you know. But I do care about getting that first win, obviously. But like once I've passed that first win, it doesn't matter. Like if there's some big reward, even if it was something as simple in Fortnite as like an XP, a huge XP game to level up your battle pass, because it does start taking a long time. Like some huge incentive to win a game other than chicken dinner or win a royale, like something
maybe even like a
substantial.
multiplier if your rank in each match gets progressively better.
Yeah.
You know, so if you're like 25th and then 12th and then 9th and then 8th, you know, like
It's like
that.
ranked
So
seasons. type-
This is crazy to me. This is like modern gaming. You know, like in Quake, you didn't care. You know, in
You
Counter
could about
Strike,
your personal kill death ratio, I guess.
what is it? What better kill death ratio is than chicken dinner? Like that's the best one in the world. You know what I mean? Like I think it's where we are, and I think that's just like, it's kind of true, and why you said like, hey, it makes sense that they have this money carrying over is I think we demand progression from our multiplayer games these days.
Yeah.
I have totally gone down that road. It's really, really hard for me to get invested in a singular multiplayer match. One, because I'm not competitive enough to care about winning, and two, it's, you know, I just like earning and carrying over, and like playing this season of Fortnite has just been so awesome and so fun because these challenges unlock every week, and like.
And some of them are cool.
And some of them
challenges
are really cool. It just
Yeah, I
feels
those.
like an MMO at sometimes,
Yeah.
and like all my friends are doing it, and we're just like helping each other with the challenges, and like seeing that progression. I'm so close to the Dark Voyager. Finally, it's like rank 70, and it's just like that's a cool reward that I have like gonna earn, you know, and like that I've worked towards. Like I think that's really important.
So, Damiani, I want to talk about this off of the failure of LawBreakers. I bet they've already made more money today than they did off of LawBreakers.
And one so far today.
Yeah, so what? I think it's
yeah.
you can buy this for, you can get like an intro pack for $14.99 today.
Okay, because I was wondering what they're actually selling at
Yeah.
this point.
I almost bet like it's already more profitable than LawBreakers.
Do you know what's in the intro pack?
No, it's just like content. You get stuff.
Money? Do you get this money?
So here's
really
my only,
worried about that.
Here's what the only thing I checked, Huber, is it's hard for everything to register in my brain.
Yeah.
But what did happen was they did in that founders pack, you could get these boots that gave you a 10% money increase.
Whoa.
And they took it out.
Okay.
There was so much backlash. They're like, we're going to take that out. And this is something I should have admitted earlier, is that Bosky is self-publishing this, and that's something they're like bragging about openly. It's just like, hey, we can make changes like this quickly. And so
wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Making a big change like that quickly.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think it was a really smart decision. I think I know that there's a lot of people not enjoying it, and there's articles that just like, hey, this is very early. I think it was right to push it out.
Yeah, definitely.
Strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah. And maybe I'm crazy to say they made more money today than in all of LawBreakers, but I feel like LawBreakers lost money. I feel like that one was a loss.
Well, for me, the vibe with LawBreakers is we're making the game that we want to make our player base be damned. You know, like there was definitely a lot of affection there toward the people that were, making time to check out LawBreakers and stay with it. But I definitely get this vibe. I mean, it's not like, brain surgery to make a battle royale. It's like, yes, that's, not to develop it, but to have the idea that this would be successful. We should do this. But I think it definitely has the vibe for me that, like, we want to make our community happy. We want to not necessarily serve them, not like every time, when they say jump, we say, or rather, when, whatever.
Yeah.
That thing.
We say how high.
But they just want to... They want to get involved with their community. They want it to be a back and forth and not just something. Because I kept hearing with LawBreakers, they were like, we heard your, advice, and in 2 months we're going to have this big update. It's going to be great. The team's working on it right now.
Yeah.
So to make those changes super quick has got to feel really good.
One thing that listeners can't quite appreciate yet, Jones is wearing a LawBreakers t-shirt.
Yeah.
So worth imagining
okay.
that. Yeah, this is break free.
I don't break this shirt out very often. But I was like, oh, today might be the day.
Yeah, Jones, I feel like they lost money printing those shirts, Like, I just, like, where LawBreakers was, like, its online community was so small. Like, it makes me happy that they're, like, trying something like this today,
Well, the shirt says break free, and that's kind of what they did today.
Yeah.
Like a little more freedom creatively.
I do think it's it's obviously a better spot for them right now, but I think sometimes it's harder to like lead and be innovative or do something new. Like their first Bosky trying like LawBreakers, like going out like a little bit earlier with that release, and everything wasn't quite figured out. They were, as Jones was saying, they were like, hey, okay, you gave us this feedback, we're gonna try and address that. They were kind of playing catch up to what the community wanted, as well as what the trends were dictated. Like everyone went to like battle royale and other battle royale, like that was what was hot now. And they just, I think the situation they're in right now, it's more reactionary. It's like they see that they have PUBG, they have Fortnite. We can kind of be a little bit, we see what they're doing well, so we know that that's going to work. Let's start there. But also, let's put a different spin on it. Everything you talked about, Huber, about like working towards progression. I also have some questions about like the money stuff. Like, do you get like money based off, like, do people have values? And if you kill them, you get like more money for that or something like
cool.
that?
That'd be
I have
great.
no idea, but like, just like stuff like that. Like, now they can put a unique spin on it as well and have a better chance at making the game successful. But yeah, I was also putting out this early, like they had to, like, because this is what's so popular right now, and I think people will forgive them for a little bit with the early status of the game, like all the bugs and stuff you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I do think the one thing they do need to be on top of is adjusting and fixing and updating really quickly with this.
Yes.
Because there is PUBG, there is Fortnite,
Right.
and people get too turned off by this for too long and just like, I'm going back to Fortnite. I don't care about this progression thing was cool, but PUBG or Fortnite is way more polished, way more people are playing it. I'm going back to that. So they have a good window, but it's not that big.
Yeah. I feel like you're at the point though. If you're at 10% of what Fortnite's doing, you're profiting. You're making crazy money.
Better
at
than
10% of what
where
they're doing.
LawBreakers was.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
What's up, Johns?
Well, if it's free, give it a shot. Like if I imagine there's a lot of players right now that are checking this game out. A lot of famous streamers that are checking it out. They're like, okay, that's fun. I'll be back next month and I'll check it out again.
Yeah.
And I think they, Bosky definitely has to have that realistic approach of like that's gonna happen. You're gonna have people. It's gonna be a roller coaster ride, and you just want to be very vocal and very honest about these updates that you're doing. And you never know what is the right thing that you could adjust in the game that'll bring people back in and have people be excited. I just think it's the right type of genre and it's the right type of style of a game to just be out and be in people's hands and be, let them, let the player base come in and help you adjust things and communicate to you and tell them what they want.
Yeah, must be exciting. Also very exciting for Spyro fans this week is that officially...
Finally.
We finally had the official announcement of Spyro Reignited Trilogy. Couldn't remember that word. Reignited. Well, actually, I could have a half conversation about like why Reignited? You making more games? Like obviously, yeah. To say Spyro is reignited. That is coming out September 21st on PlayStation 4, Xbox One. That'll be a $40 game, just like Crash Bandicoot was last year. And Toys for Bob is the developer. Toys for Bob created the Skylanders series.
Yeah.
And made the most recent. They made a bunch of Skylanders games. They did that one and a few others. And then I saw they made the most recent one too.
Whoa, I didn't know that. That's blowing my mind.
Why?
Because he looks totally different.
He looks so good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's Jones. Spyro's character model is like one of the best I've ever seen. It's like it's so good. It is like top tier. Like when you saw Crash, it's like, oh, that's what he looks like, And like Spyro's
Spyro's like
perfect.
straight out of a Disney movie.
Yes,
he's
dude.
the main character.
Yes,
Let's go.
Flawless victory. I can't believe how they pulled this off.
Pretty good.
It just looks gorgeous. The game looks really, really good.
I'm really excited. I have never really played any Spyro games. I've touched a Spyro game for like 10 minutes probably at game trailers for some old capture or
Weirdo
something.
Countdown or something we did. Yeah.
So I'm really excited to be on that end of a remaster of not coming back to a game I love, but checking out a series that I
think you're gonna
missed.
like it because you like Ratchet and Clank.
Love Ratchet and Clank.
Yes.
Love Sly, Jack
Yeah.
and Daxter, like Crash.
I think you're gonna have a good time here.
So excited for this.
I'm in the same boat as you, Huber. And the trailer made this look very impressive, just from like a remaster standpoint.
Yeah.
Like I still seen how old Spyro looks, and even in the trailer showing like the side by side, I was like, wow, they nailed this, and they didn't make it look bad. Like it looks really good. And I think one of the coolest things I saw was like apparently Insomniac is like showing their support for this as well, even though like it's Toys for Bob handling the development. Like they're still like tweeting their support to them as well as like, yo, this looks like, yeah, we're on board, which is like just like I can see for like veterans of the series, like this is just saying all the right things. I am seeing all the right things. And I'm gonna try this out as soon as it comes out. I'm excited to play this for the first time. I was like, but Kyle or anyone who's played it, like how good is Spyro really? Like, and are they gonna change? Is there anything you hope that they're gonna change, like design wise or address with these that's like stands
one thing
out?
they said is that you'll be able to use the analog stick for movement. That's a huge improvement right
what?
there. You don't have to use the D-pad.
You only use the D-pad to move around 3D
I think
space.
in the first one,
Maybe.
I think in the first one's right.
Oh,
The only
okay.
one I played is Spyro 3 actually, and I didn't play
Okay.
it till it was on PS3. It was like it was like a cheap PS1 download. I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot, and then I got way into it.
Is this the first 3 games?
First three games
cool.
in the series. Jones, here's what was crazy to me is when it was announced, I was kind of down on it. I was kind of thinking that, when it was leaked, I should say, I was kind of thinking that like there's no way this would reach the success of Crash Bandicoot, that Spyro is lesser than. But here's the weird thing, Jones, is like its social media presence is crazy. They tweet one comparison screenshot of a couple of trees, and it gets 45,000 likes.
That's wow.
That's social media mogul status. It's just it's blown up, and I wonder if like I assume you have not played any Spyro games either.
Same thing with Huber.
Yeah.
Throughout GT life, I sampled it on occasion, but and I might have played it back in the PS1 back in the day, but I just think it wasn't my speed at the time.
And I'm wondering if just a generation under us, maybe 4 or 5 years under us, loves this series.
Well, I think what happened with Crash sold really well, but the sentiment that I saw a lot on social media is people were like, "Oh, these games," you know, like
Myself,
like,
yeah.
It was almost kind of like they loved Crash, but like didn't really love like these old games,
It's
or
so
like
hard, yeah.
or like just got frustrated and just got kind of angry at them going back and playing the stuff, and like wanted to experience all the games, wanted to play through them, but like that was demanding a lot, you know, for some people. And I think that Crash is really great, but I think we don't make games like Crash anymore at all, not even close. Like Endless Runners probably, like mobile is really the only platform that really embraces that kind of style, where I'm sure all of the three of those games are probably better than Ukulele. So it's like, I wonder if like people are really ready for this. And I wonder if there's a lot of people that like, you know, these you know, collectible, you know, where you're just jumping around these environments, exploring stuff. Oh, I can see that platform. How do I get up there? That kind of stuff. And we're still making those games, you know, all the time.
I also wonder how many people who are Spyro fans weren't into Skylanders and saw what they did with Spyro with the first Skylanders and maybe like got tuned out from all of this, like with Skyland, like tuned out from Skylanders. And Spyro was pretty much dead to me, and now they're seeing classic Spyros coming back, and now they're excited and like, oh yes, I've been waiting for this moment. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, after the break, I want to go down the Spyro timeline because it is highly interesting.
Ooh.
It is highly interesting. One thing I want to talk about though is what is really funny is when this did leak a long time ago, and I went back to look at it. It was February. It was our February 14th podcast. How I want to check in on the things that were right and wrong, because again, Laura Dale, she got us like half truths again. So Activision currently working on Spyro Trilogy Remaster. Yeah, that's totally true. Announced in March 2018. I'll give it to you. It's April. I'll give you that one. Released in Q3 2018. Yep, have it.
Wow.
Vicarious Visions is not developing this game. They did Crash last year. I assume they're working on the new Crash game. The most significant part of that rumor that was not true was that it would be exclusive to PS4. That the Xbox One version would not come out for a year later. We know now that both the PS4 and Xbox One version will come out on the same day, September 21st.
Neat. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that is the huge difference between this and Crash Bandicoot, I guess, is that hey, this is not exclusive to Sony. I wonder if it didn't matter to Sony this time, if they didn't want to pay for it, or I wonder if Activision said we can make more money putting this on both platforms.
Probably gonna go with like Activision thought they can make more money with off putting it multi-platform, but I don't know, like. Yeah, I think it's. I don't think Sony was willing to pay for exclusivity because they didn't do it for Crash.
They did pay for it.
They did do it for Crash. I'm sorry. Then I guess my argument would be that because I keep forgetting Crash came out later on other platforms.
Yeah, it had a
sorry,
year.
yeah.
Crash Bandicoot
so
had
it was
a
a year.
Yep.
So you know what? I think the deal might like the rumor originally might have been true at the time. Could it be possible that maybe Microsoft anteed up?
That's
like
totally
maybe
possible,
Microsoft saw how well. Maybe they saw. What if they saw how well Crash did?
Because there's no Switch version announced.
Well, I was waiting for you to get that. There was that page that like went up on the Nintendo site. And
what? For Spyro?
Apparently, there's people found some stuff for Spyro on Switch pages on one of the sites or whatever. I'm sorry, I'm not getting like the
my
exact
favorite thing
details.
ever is bringing up sketchy rumors on.
No, it's not. No,
easy on
I hate
that.
it so
No,
much.
Kyle.
Yeah.
People found a
That's a
list.
sketchy rumor, Don.
People found a listing for it
Okay.
on like UK's like
Well,
UK
it wasn't
Nintendo
announced
page.
today.
But it wasn't. No, it
Are
was
you
not
saying
announced.
Nintendo didn't ante
no,
up?
it wasn't announced.
Ante up.
So yes, like it's a little weird. Like there's some smoke there about that. So yeah, maybe. Yeah, but I would say like Microsoft saw the success of the Crash trilogy, since it was PS4 exclusive, and having to wait for it's like, yep, we kind of missed the boat on that. Oh, they're doing another one, Spyro. Sony, hold on one second. Here's the check. Make a day and date with the Xbox. Thank you very much.
And Nintendo's like, we'll wait a year.
Reggie's over there, and he's like,
We'll wait a year.
That's a little too rich for my blood. I'm gonna fold now.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true.
I have no idea,
To me, this looks like a game that was not developed in a year. I think they probably started working on this after the last Skylanders
That
game.
character model has been cooking.
It's been cooking.
Looks good.
Yeah. Right, Joes? I mean, Imaginators, we'll do the timeline, but Imaginators was the last Skylanders game, and this was that studio's last game. Is it conceivable that they're just like, hey, we should just work on reigniting Spyro right now?
Totally, yeah.
Yeah. And that was cool. I just remembered Imaginators had some really cool Crash Bandicoot levels.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, honestly, like, I imagine some people are like Toys for Bob. They Google it. They're like Skylanders. I think there's probably no studio more qualified other than Insomniac to make this game.
They're busy.
Insomniac's busy.
They're busy. They're a little busy right now.
Do you want to hear that? Sounds like it's podcast halftime.
The following are the official sponsors of Easy Allies for the month of April. Hogue Law, business law firm. Whether you're starting a business at level 1, stuck fighting the dreaded fundraising boss, or finally cashing out with a well-earned high score, you need a good business lawyer at your side. Rick Hogue started Hogue Law to bring more than a decade of experience to companies like yours and is proud to support the Allies. Check him out at hoeglaw.com. Bites and Brews. A controller in one hand and a cold one in the other, Tony and Rob are buzzed and ready to bring you snob-free craft beer reviews while stumbling their way through the latest releases the gaming industry has to offer. You can check out their slightly incoherent content live on Twitch or at your leisure on YouTube. They're social drinkers, so don't hesitate to reach out through Twitter, Facebook, and Discord. Just search for Bites and Brews, and remember, it's BYOB. Cheers. Mango. Video game abominations. What if there was a book filled with all your favorite video game characters, but then someone decided to take the piss out of them? Well, there is, and this is it. Video Game Abominations takes all the characters you know and then lovingly mocks them. This book is written and illustrated by gamers for gamers. The book will be on sale for only 1 month exclusively on Kickstarter. Once it's gone, it's gone. You'll never be able to buy another copy, so support them between April 11th and May 11th and help them decide what characters should be in the book. Simon Anderson. Scorn, an atmospheric horror adventure currently in development at Ebb Software, set in a nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry. Go to scorn-game.com for more information. El Thanis. iKeyless.com is proud to sponsor Easy Allies. If you need a replacement car key or remote, use offer code EZA at checkout for free shipping and 30% off of your order. All of these links are available in the description. Thank you to our sponsors.
Thank you, sponsors.
Sponsors love you. Video game abominations recommendation, Geralt.
What? You're saying
It's time. It's time to make fun of
So
Geralt.
you got to take him down a peg, is what you're saying?
Yeah, video game. They said,
Taking the piss out of Geralt?
Kickstarter's coming and
Yeah.
give us recommendations. So I just want,
nice.
I want to throw one out there.
Why Geralt though, dude? Because he's too serious? Because you don't think he has a sense of humor?
Oh yeah? Oh yeah?
I love Geralt. I just
Nathan
thought it'd
Drake.
Be fun. Yeah, Nathan Drake. Yeah, let's do it. I just thought it'd be funny.
Okay.
I think it's time we make fun of Sonic the Hedgehog.
I never
At
thought
long
of
last.
that. Long time coming.
He's got it coming. You know, we always talk about, like, you know, people are how do I get attention? How do I get my name out there? How do I become something? And like, the answer is, like, you need a hook. I really like Bites and Brews. That was like a good hook, you know? I
Yeah.
like that. BYTES, by the way, not BITS.
Oh, correct. Yeah, I think if we're going to put, I think I read that wrong because they put that in all caps with spaces. So I think they wanted me to read that BYTES and BREWS.
Yes.
Bites and Brews.
Bites and
Not
Brews.
and N. Bites and Brews.
So I like this opportunity.
Stop and swap.
I wonder how many of our listeners to the podcast, because we just talked about Spyro, and I do wonder if it's a generational thing. I wonder if like 18-year-olds and 24-year-olds love Spyro. Clearly the panel doesn't, and I love this. I love this opportunity.
Why would
I
you think
miss
they like that?
Because 45,000 likes is so much on just a screenshot tweet.
It's crazy. Just from my perception, right?
Yeah.
I know Spyro.
Yeah.
Everyone I know knows Spyro, but nobody plays it.
Yeah.
So who are these people that are
are
playing
you?
it? Who are they?
Well, I think we all have that franchise we want to see come back. We all have that that PS1, PS2 game that like, oh man, wouldn't that be great if they just didn't mess with
Ape
it?
Escape.
Don't touch the VO, don't touch anything, and just clean it up, give it to me again.
Metal Gear
And
Solid
so
1.
even though mine's probably GoldenEye, I would love that if GoldenEye was on a modern console and the same maps,
We can't go down
same
this
guns,
road
tried
right
so
now.
many
sound
times,
effects.
it just can't work.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So like for a lot of us, it's a lost cause. Like we're
Yeah.
never gonna get that that to happen. And so like even though I didn't grow up really with Spyro, I play a lot of Skylanders, but like even though, you know, I'm not as attached as other people, it still feels good. It's still just, even with Crash too, it's like, yes. You know, looking at the backgrounds in the distance, they're like, we redrew all of these mountains. I'm just like, that's awesome.
But who are I think you nailed it, Kyle. I think it's like one generation below us.
Well, let's get into this because we're going back to the year 1998.
Yeah, that's not one.
I was playing
generation below
Resident
us.
Evil at the time.
I know we're pretty young in 1998. You know what I mean? Like, who are these 3-year-olds playing these games? So 1998 is the first Spyro the Dragon game.
Okay. That makes sense, because if we're all like 10, 11, 12 years old at that time, people that are like 7 or 8 were probably playing Spyro, right?
Okay, you're right. Yeah,
so
yeah,
a little.
That 4 or 5. I get that.
Yeah.
Okay.
19 years old. Just
Jones, I think of us as the same. I think of Jones in all my math classes.
like,
you know,
like filling out college applications and playing Spyro the Dragon.
So I learned a lot about this stuff. A lot about Universal, who used to publish games at a time.
Oh yeah.
This is such a weird thing. So Naughty Dog and Insomniac made each a game at Universal. Way of the Warrior for Naughty Dog, and I forget the name of the Insomniac one. It's like a robot. You're like a thick robot.
Connectica, maybe? No.
That's the one where that's
no,
Jaffe's
no.
game where you're like a motorcycle
Yeah.
person.
Yeah, robot.
Jeffy made that. I didn't know that.
Let's do it. Let's do Prove It Ticket. Can someone look that up? Look up Insomniacs.
Oh, yeah.
It's like almost their first game. It's really early. So anyway, they made those 2 games at Universal, and so Universal liked having them. The VP at Universal Publishing for video games was a man named Mark Cerny. And he's looking at their next projects, and he's saying, hey, we're looking at the demographics for the PlayStation. We need a broader appeal. And so that's why they made Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon. This is so crazy. Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah, so they made Spyro the Dragon in 1998. Huge success, obviously. Really fun game, really cool game. I never explained the appeal in this entire podcast. It's just so cool to be a dragon who gets to breathe fire whenever you want.
You're a jolly dragon platforming around and burning things.
Lots of gliding, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, and you know I love gliding is one of my favorite things to do in games.
pretty
Kingdom
great.
Hearts, I love gliding.
Is there a double jump?
No. Yeah. Don't believe there's a double jump. But another really fun thing about the burning is like and this is heavily advertised, you can just burn sheep. There's like sheep hanging out into the game. You can like burn them and the game doesn't care, you know? So yeah, you had like a certain freedom to being this dragon with fire. What's up, Damiani? Disruptor.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Disruptor.
Disruptor
Yeah, it
was the name
says
of their
Universal
PS1
Interactive
game.
Studios.
Yeah,
is the
Universal
publisher.
Interactive. So yeah, what's crazy, huge success that first year, Spyro the Dragon. The next year, Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage. Boom. Here it is.
1 year later.
1 year later,
Look at that.
1999.
Those dev times,
Wow.
baby.
Yeah.
This was such a
I know.
crazy
good old
time in
days.
video games.
Yeah.
The next year, 1 year later. What's the name of this one? Year of the Dragon. Spyro 3, well, it
Year
was
of
called
the
Spyro
Dragon,
3. It was
baby.
Spyro, Year of the Dragon in the year 2000. Boom, here's another one. How crazy is this?
That is nuts.
Back to back to back, and they're all really good games. That was also the last one published by Sony. So it's weird, the weird deal that Universal had with Sony, and like same with Crash Bandicoot, like it was Universal, but Sony like published them. That was the last one with that. The deal was for those 3 games with Universal and Naughty Dog and Insomniac, and so they were like, after those 3 games, they're like, hey, we're good, Universal. So Naughty Dog left, Insomniac left, and actually Mark Cerny left Universal to go hang out with them, to go like be an advisor on those games. So that was the last of involvement with Spyro, with Insomniac, with Mark Cerny, with Sony, just the franchise sticking around with Universal.
It's really cool.
Yeah. The next year, a Game Boy Advance game.
Whoa.
Spyro, the Season of Ice. Season of Ice on Game Boy Advance. This is like an isometric game.
Isometric.
Well done, Jones. Well done. Year after, Season of Flame. Another Game Boy Advance game.
Of
Yeah.
course, Oracle Season to Oracle.
Yeah, exactly. So it's this weird, like, there's this weird Game Boy Advance games. They sold well again, and they're like million copy sellers. Nothing like remarkable about them though, you know. Like I look at the reviews and they're like not crazy. They're like there's like the 7s and 8s kinds of things.
All you need.
Sometimes on a Game Boy Advance, all you need.
Oh, yeah.
All you need.
Road
yeah.
trip, give me a 7.
Yeah.
But also that year, 2002, was Spyro Enter the Dragonfly on PS2 and GameCube. This had very bad reviews. Apparently, it was super rushed. You know, they're on the next gen. The two studios, they had one make the PS2 game, one make the GameCube game. Their first games. So this is their first studio's games. They're making Spyro games on next gen consoles. Well, 2002, you're pretty deep into that gen, actually.
Enter the Dragonfly.
Well, I guess GameCube, you're 1 year in. PS2, you're 2
Yeah,
years.
I feel like
PS2
that
you're
title is trying to capitalize on like Rise to Honor and the Bruce Lee game.
What's so funny is Vivendi Universal published the
There it
Bruce Lee
is,
games.
yeah. Because
Isn't that
Enter
crazy?
the Dragon is
Yeah.
the Bruce Lee movies.
Yeah, and I think at this point there are Vivendi Universal. I didn't write down when that switch happened. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, that you know, it's like we're Vivendi Universal now, and like we're just pumping these games out. After that, another year later, another Game Boy Advance game, Attack of the Rhinox, 2003. We're talking right now.
Wow.
We're not missing a year, baby. We're back to back to back.
They ditched Wind and Earth. I'm very mad at that.
Oh, you wanted
Yeah,
Season
yeah.
of
Season
Winds?
of Earth and Season of Wind. Where is this? Come on.
You got Attack of the Rhinox instead. 2004, Spyro Orange, The Cortex Conspiracy. These are
Is
Game
this
Boy
an
Advance.
adventure game?
This is Game Boy Advance crossover with
Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot.
Whoa,
Remember that.
what?
Yeah, I remember that.
So this is a 2D platformer on Game Boy Advance where Spyro is in Crash Bandicoot's universe.
We missed this.
yeah.
You missed this, exactly.
Wasn't there,
No,
wasn't there
have I
Crash
been?
Purple?
Yeah. So there's
Yeah.
Crash Purple where Crash is in Spyro's universe.
Yep.
And then you can link up your link cables and there's like some content.
This
that's like
had to
actually-
be the lowest of their popularity, though, at this point, right?
I don't think it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
Isn't this crazy?
Awesome.
Yeah, Damiani, I'm actually positive it was not the lowest of their
Okay.
popularity.
So wait, do we think some kind of Crash appearance is possible in this Spyro trilogy coming out?
Crash,
Some
like,
kind of DLC?
absolutely. So actually, you know what's a really fun part of the announcement this week? I think it was a marketing plan that didn't pan out. They hid the trailer for Spyro in Crash Bandicoot Collection, and if you like type in a code on the menu, you get that. But the thing was, it wasn't ready in time, so they had to say like, "Hey, in a few days, this is gonna work." It was a real bummer of a trailer because I think obviously they intended to have it. Like, how cool would that be if that's the
Yeah.
way people found this? I just think marketing-wise, it didn't work out for them. But yeah, Crash is way on top of this. There's high chance of a crossover
This is
again,
awesome.
dude. Yeah. That year we had another console game that year, A Hero's Tale. That was on Xbox, PS2, and GameCube.
The
Again,
Hero's Tail, like Tail, like. But
yes, Jones. Yeah.
I gotta be very clear about that.
And it's weird. This is still the same continuity, still the same canon, but it's
my
like
God,
getting more
I
serious at
haven't
this
even
point.
Crash is still.
I haven't even thought about the lore of these games.
Game Boy Advance, man, even canon. They're like
my
even those are
gosh.
canon. Next year, 2005, Spyro Shadow Legacy.
Dark
2005.
Turn.
Never heard of that one.
Dark
at all.
Turn.
Yeah.
2005, we're going full Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Full
Edgy.
Yeah.
Gears of War.
You gotta see the box art too. It's just like a long Spyro who's like trying to have arms. It's so weird. It's a DS only game. This one's only on DS.
Oh.
And this one was, I guess what makes it different is it had RPG elements, but this one had some of the lowest reviews. It was like 5.
Oh, this is the age where like they were trying to reinvent all the platformers as RPGs. Like Sonic came out a few years later.
I
Dark
wouldn't
Brotherhood.
say Dark Brotherhood was a reinvention. That was like BioWare. They were clearly, it was a side shoot. But
Yeah.
they were trying RPG elements in
I was
Spyro.
kind of just being joking a little bit, but
No jokes on this podcast.
No joke.
This is a very
No
serious
jokes.
podcast.
Okay,
This is
guys,
very,
no
very
jokes.
serious. Yeah. No, that's a fair point. I think people were trying that a lot. Didn't work for Spyro. Never came back. RPG elements never returned to the Spyro series. 2006 is the reboot. So Spyro Shadow Legacy is the last
end
of
of
that
the
timeline.
canon.
Is the last of that canon. And then we had a reboot.
darkest timeline right
Yes.
there. Dark wings on Spyro. Dark words.
So
He like sacrifices himself.
He flies into the
volcano.
and the flame shoots out and just makes like, bye everybody.
but here's the thing,
the Metal Gear of Spyro
I'm
games.
so sure that happened. I'm positive that.
They
You know
have
what I
like
mean?
they have a
so dark
person
at this point.
reading like the eulogy at the end.
Yeah.
He's like,
So 2006, it's time for a reboot. It's called The Legend of Spyro, A New Beginning. And this is published by Sierra Entertainment because Vivendi Universal became Vivendi. Right, they dropped, so what they, shoot, this is so complicated. Vivendi Universal just became Vivendi, like, something games. They absorbed Sierra, and I think Blizzard at the time. And so instead of publishing games as Vivendi Universal, and they didn't want to just call it Vivendi, they took Sierra. They're like, Sierra sounds good. It's like one of those Atari things. They're like, we like that name better. So then the games they published, so they had different arms.
I remember this. Around that time,
crazy
like
stuff, dude.
that 2D shooter, vertical shooter, like wireframes. So, what's it called?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'll look it up later.
Star Wars in the
no,
arcade?
No. It's like a vertical like shooter. It had a sequel. It was like really popular.
It's
It was under
wireframes?
Sierra. It was under Sierra, and
Okay.
it happened around the exact time of this because I remember going to an event and they like it was a different pub. Yeah,
Tell me you're not thinking about Geometry Wars.
is it?
If you are thinking about Geometry Wars, you're off by like 10 years, man.
No.
Okay, all right.
Moving
Okay.
on.
All right, moving on.
Prove it ticket.
Yeah. So like, yeah, you know what? It's 2006. Elijah Wood is the voice of Spyro.
So that's when he got the
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
jeez.
This is big budget.
Blowing.
This was big budget.
Mind.
David Spade was the voice of Sparks, the little dragonfly that is always around Spyro.
Oh,
I'm going back and I'm playing through the entire franchise, full franchise playthrough.
Gary Oldman does the voice of one of the dragons. One of the Elder Dragons is Gary Oldman.
What?
Yes. You know what? That was another thing about Spyro I actually really like. Instead of a health bar, you have this little dragonfly that represents your health by the colors that he degrades to. So he'll take a hit for you, and then when he's gone, you die one hit.
This just bums me out that I missed this franchise. So I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, the remaster. I'm getting a shot at redemption, but
It's worth Googling for just the hideous box art. The first two Legend of Spyro games have some of the worst box art you'll ever see. 2007, a year later, another The Legend of Spyro
have we
game.
missed a year yet?
We've not missed a year
Wow.
yet.
It's like Mega
From
Man levels.
1998 to
Mega Man levels
2007,
production.
we have not missed a year yet. The Legend of Spyro: The Eternal Night.
No wonder everyone knows the name. There's a game every year.
Elijah Wood, Gary Oldman, still around. David Spade, he's out. He wasn't around for the next. Replaced by Billy West, actually. For some reason, a weird outlier, the Game Boy Advance version of that had very good reviews. That was like 80s. You don't see that for any of these games, but like, oh, good reviews, Game Boy Advance game.
Nice.
The next year, 2008, the streak is alive.
We're getting close.
We're getting close. The Legend of Spyro: Dawn of the Dragon. So this is on PS2, PS3, Wii, Xbox 360, and DS. So we're getting those next gen versions. In 2008, it's like, all right. This is published by Activision, who earlier that summer merged with Vivendi, absorbed all of those things. And so in 2008, that's the first one ever that's like says published by Activision. So Spyro now belongs to Activision at this point. They're kind of forced to publish it. It was pretty far along. So a few months later, they publish this game. Dies. The series dies right there. The streak is over. Activision does simply not care to keep that streak alive for no
Have we
reason.
not had a game since?
Oh, wait, Huber. We absolutely
talking about?
have.
There's something that came back. Don't worry.
Skylanders.
Yes,
Don't worry.
Skylanders.
Okay.
And so, Huber, it's
But
like,
not a standalone
Yeah.
Spyro game.
no standalone. It's been
Since that.
10 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 10 years. It's like, yeah, to have one every single year and then poof.
Jeez.
I remember reviewing Skylanders 1.
You reviewed Skylanders 1.
So cool.
So
All the box of all those things.
I actually remember
And
being
the
excited about that.
And
Like
the
Hoffman
portal.
had a bunch
I
of
had
them, yeah.
all at Station 1 on the corner. Just like literally put them all up there.
Yes.
I was like, dink. Next one, gameplay footage. Dink. Next one, gameplay
Oh,
footage.
so you were not getting into it, is what you didn't
What?
love it. You didn't love the game.
I thought the concept was pretty cool. It was pretty short, so that was thankfully like a good thing about it. But like, I think the demographic they're going after was actually a pretty good concept. I think would have got tired of it after multiple years of it. But
It's one of my favorite implementations of Toys to Life. You had this character. I mean, I guess we talked about no RPG elements, but here that character gained experience, gained moves, had a skill tree. You pick it off the game, take it to a friend's house. That character exists
right.
within that little cool
Reminds me
toy.
of Initial D in the arcades. Just taking that
card. Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Just a sense of ownership on it.
F-Zero arcade game.
Say,
Had that
yeah.
Yeah,
too.
same thing.
And
Those
I
cards.
I actually got
yeah,
to
yeah.
try that. And it was like
F-Zero
the
or-
coolest thing.
Or Mario Kart? Which was the one where you
GP?
brought your GameCube
Oh yeah,
controller pack?
That's F-Zero.
Okay, yeah.
both of them. Yeah, you actually unlocked content
Insane.
in the GameCube version if you put your memory card into
Love that
the AX
Very
version.
fancy.
So cool.
Are you looking up a new thing? What are you looking up now?
Also, I thought you didn't quite hand me the Privet ticket, but the game I went to go see Geometry Wars Galaxies 2007 for
Okay.
Wii and DS.
All right, well done.
There
well
you
done.
go. Which was like 1 year after.
And that was published under Sierra as well?
Yeah, it had Sierra on the side and everything. I was
Okay,
like,
cool.
what the heck?
Wireframe
All right.
misled me. I thought
Sorry.
I thought it was humanoid wireframe.
No, I was
What is
bad.
confusing about that is
Yeah.
Activision attempted to bring they've absorbed it at this point. They do nothing with Sierra. Apparently they did Galaxies, but then Sierra had that weird resurgence with the King game. What's it called? Shoot, it's the adventure game where you're a king.
King's Quest?
King's Quest. Thank you, Jones.
Yeah.
King's Quest and Geometry Wars, and then they're like, you know what? We're not going to do these anymore. They had this big Sierra resurgence. Activision's like, we're going to make small games again. We're going to do them under the Sierra name. And then just 2 games are like, you know what? That was a bad idea. We like making millions. So yeah, shoot. I mean, is that conversation where do you think Activision will ever be like EA, where they're like, hey, we want to make some small games?
Doesn't seem like it.
Doesn't seem
Not
like
right now.
Yeah.
No.
So in 2012, we had Skylanders Giants. Oh,
Yeah.
actually, a cool trivia. So Toys for Bob was actually working on another dark Spyro game. Apparently that had blood in it before they decided to go in the Skylanders direction. They're like, you know what, this is too dark.
Jeez.
This is not the right for Spyro.
Wow.
How crazy is that? Then they went the
Shadow
complete
whatever
opposite. Yeah.
wasn't dark enough for them for the
Talk about some
conclusion.
bad box art just dripping from his fangs.
Yeah, I guess what do you think they like took it into? I wish I could see concept art. I'm thinking of Lair. You know what I mean? But it's like it's Spyro now.
Yeah.
Yeah. The things you learn from Wikipedia. I learned that he's purple just because he was green, but he blended in with the grass too much. I'm like, oh, let's make him purple. It's cool.
Contrast.
That's why it's a good choice. Swap Force was 2013. Trap Team 2014. Superchargers 2015.
Sounds like Power
Is that the
Rangers.
one with Bowser?
Yes, it
Yes,
was.
the
Well
love
done,
Bowser
dude.
thing.
Yeah, it was the vehicles. Vehicles
Yeah.
was the
Oh
gimmick
my
that
gosh,
year.
I remember that.
Imaginators was 2016. Actually, Jones, let's do a little gimmick trivia. What was Giants? What was the gimmick behind that one?
They were huge.
Okay. What was Swap Force gimmick?
You could take the tops and put them on other legs, and they would keep the power of the legs and the mobility thing, but the weapons would be different.
What was the Trap Team gimmick?
You could trap villains into traps once you defeated them, and then you could play as the villains.
What was the Imaginators gimmick?
You could create your own Skylander.
Nice. Well done, Jones.
Dang.
Yes. That was
Expert.
2016. Imaginators, and then it was pretty much done. I'm not sure they ever announced it or if it was official
I
or
don't
not.
think that. Please, chat, correct me on that, or the people in the comments. I don't think we ever officially got that announcement where they're like, we're done.
Yeah.
But it is worth mentioning that he got a Netflix show,
Yeah, you know what? And it's
which I
successful.
watched. Thank you very much.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
Is it funny? Is it one of those shows that's actually kind of funny?
Kind of funny.
Cool.
What's neat, what is fascinating, and again, that's just why I'm blown away by the fact that Toys for Bob is doing this, because there was like the Skylanders from the old classic series and how he evolved in that, and then they brought him back as kind of a different looking Skylanders or different looking Spyro, and then they did Skylanders and he looked kind of different, and then they did the animated series on Netflix. He looked real weird, and like the classic Twitter meme that's flying around right now, where like, you don't deserve me at my blank, you know.
Yeah.
And they showed the Netflix version and then
Well
this
done.
new one.
Yeah, it's good use in the meme.
But speaking of dark, I thought it was fascinating. The pilot he warms up by the end, but like super cocky in the pilot, because it's about the Skylanders Academy, and so he like wants to become a Skylander, but he's just in the academy, and he's just like, step aside, everybody, and gets like smacked down in the pilot, and like, no, you do not become a Skylander. You gotta respect
Gotta
your elders,
earn
buddy.
it.
Wait, was
Nice.
Skylanders lore in Spyro games?
No, there's I think 2 carryover characters, Spyro and Cinder from the Legend of Spyro series. I think that's it. I think those are the only 2 characters who made it into Skylanders.
Okay.
In lore too. I don't know. Are there like dragon eggs in Skylanders?
No, they're a
Yeah.
bunch of crazy
I thought,
characters.
yeah, I'm trying to remember. I thought like it was just like Spyro was like doing his own thing and he runs into the Skylanders in the beginning of the first one or something.
Yeah, I'm
'cause of
way
the
down.
villain, I
if you
forget-
have corrections on Spyro,
I don't
lore,
remember.
I'm super ready for
Kind
them.
of like
Yeah, I
put it on my
want
memory.
to talk to like the Spyro experts.
Yes.
Please.
Yeah, so I mean that was Jones. I mean maybe that's why they didn't announce that. Like we're done with this Toys for Life. We're done with the series because of Netflix, and I think they were doing some mobile stuff with Skylanders after that. Maybe that's why they never officially announced. But yeah, from that, what was that? 5 years in a row, they're like, no, we're done. From just huge success, like, oh, we're making buttloads of money off these toys, and like, we're done. It's Activision, right? Here's what's weird though: is 2 years later we get this Spyro announcement. This collection of just normal. Microtransaction free platforming games, adventure platforming games.
3 big games for a little A little cheaper price too.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So generous.
Yeah. Activision's so generous. It's called Spyro Reignited. I think they want to revitalize the series. I think they want to make new Crash games.
This is absolutely the way to do it.
Yeah.
We talk about just new games coming out, like Yakuza 6 is coming out, but it's like the 6th one, so it's, where do people jump in? Nothing better than just coming in with the first 3 games in one package.
Yeah.
Just inviting you into the franchise. So
Yeah.
really, it's such an easy sell.
It's just like the history of Spyro is so funny. He had 3 good games. He had 3 well-reviewed games, except for that one weird Game Boy Advance version.
man.
Yeah, and there's like so many back-to-back, just some lousy, some 7s. It's fine to have 7s, but some just truly bad 5.0 games.
Similar to Sonic in a way.
Yeah.
A lot of
Sonic persisted though. Sonic persisted better than Spyro did. But yeah, it is weird to like look at Spyro's legacy, but it's just like you had 3 greats at the beginning and then just like this weird mediocrity for the rest of your life.
But to directly compare it to Crash had a run and then was gone, right?
No,
Like,
Crash also had like back-to-back
Weird.
years.
Yeah.
I think-
right, but did Crash get a reboot?
Yeah, he had tattoos at one point. You remember that?
Because it's fascinating that Spyro this is the 4th life of Spyro,
Yeah, this is
he had
the
his
4th life of
initial
Spyro,
run,
yeah.
and then the reboot, and then Skylanders,
Yeah.
and now we're going back to the beginning.
Yeah.
I just think that's awesome, and I think that's one thing that separates it from Crash.
Yeah. Another thing that separates it is like enjoyable. Here's the thing. I played through all 3 Crash games. I didn't finish the first one actually. I got too annoyed at that
Very
last level,
frustrating game.
that last world. Yeah. They're enjoyable games. Spyro, you can just chill out.
It's both
Yeah.
worlds, like
Yes.
Crash, you're always sweating,
Yeah.
whereas Spyro, there's challenges, and I'm sure there's some tricky jumps and boss fights and stuff like that, or you can just fly around in beautiful world.
Burn some sheep. Yeah.
And that's why I like the Skylanders games, because I just turn my brain off and just
Yeah.
run in and watch a bunch of gold coins fly all over the place.
All right, so we started talking about Spyro. We'll move on quickly. I realize that the audience is getting sick of talking about Spyro. We talked about it, though, where I was like, I don't know if it's going to do better than Crash, and I want the panel to take a stance. Will this game sell better in this year on PS4 and Xbox One than Crash Bandicoot did on only PS4 in its opening year?
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say it does as good or better.
Okay.
I'm going with it.
Who's stronger, Jones?
I believe in Spyro.
I don't think so. After
Just doesn't
everything
have
we
that
said, it
name
feels
recognition?
bad, but I just have doubts.
Sure. Damiani?
I think Crash will end up selling more.
On one platform
Yeah.
in 1 year than Spyro on 2. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I asked for hot takes. You gave me hot takes. Nobody looks happy to give me their hot take. It looks
Yeah,
like
I'm not-
everybody's
I
like
want
a
it to
little.
do well. I'm not happy about it.
I don't want to
I'm not happy
I
about
hate
it.
him being like down on that. Like that seems down, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I'm probably more excited to play this than Crash. I just think Crash is a little bit more beloved by this. I don't know. I think it might have like more attachment to Sony as part of history. It went, multi-platform and stuff. It was such a momentous event for it to come back. It was also being teased and all that
the
stuff.
tease and the
Same
build-up
thing,
was
yeah.
really
Crash was,
Yeah,
Crash
like
was in
they
one of the
had-
best Sony press conferences we've ever seen.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
the
fair
Spyro.
point.
Yeah, Spyro being. There's.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
But I'd be stoked if it beat it. Go Spyro. That'd be
Yeah,
great.
no hard
Yeah.
feelings. Yeah.
I didn't realize as I was going through this timeline as well that Activision bought its independence in 2013 from Vivendi. That was not too long ago. Activision Blizzard, excuse me. I should be technical about those things. But yeah, I thought that's pretty cool. 2013 is like not that long ago. And I've always, I guess, envisioned Activision as their own thing. But no, they were part of that Vivendi.
Well, if you are
family
being
for a long time.
technical, it was Activision that did that. Activision Blizzard didn't do that. They were not Activision Blizzard at the time. So that is a truthful statement.
I think it was a holding company called Activision Blizzard at that time, Jones.
All right,
In
then.
2013.
Wild. Okay.
Yeah, it's it gets it got so
It was
complicated.
much more recent than it is.
I
Wow.
was looking at Vivendi Universal. It's like Universal, Vivendi, Universal, just Vivendi. So they call themselves Sierra. Then they get involved, and now they're Activision. It was crazy timeline of publishers.
Better call Hug.
Jeez.
Better call Hook.
Yeah, better call him.
Just call Hug.
Let's do some little love and respect.
Love and respect.
You know what? Let's do that. Let's back to back. Let's do it. This is from Brandon K. Gunn.
Gosh.
We're doing more guessing of which will sell better. Predict the
okay,
September
never mind.
NPDs. Hello, everyone. Every so often, you
Kyle, I
decide.
demand that I'm on every episode with NPDs, by the way.
Let's make it happen. Okay. I'll delay the news for you, too.
Yeah, please.
I think you'll like this game then. When you decide to discuss the NPDs, it leads to a fascinating conversation. So I thought it might be fun to gauge the panel's thoughts about how well 4 of the big games coming in September will fare. In light of recent release date news, please select in order the games that will do best, worst, and the 2 in between in commercial sales. If you want to predict how they will do commercially, then by all means. I wondered if that meant critically. The 4 games are Dragon Quest XI, that's September 4th. Spider-Man, announced for September 7th. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, September 14th. And Spyro Reignited.
This is
Reignited
so
Trilogy
easy.
was just
I have
announced.
the answer already.
Okay, go
right,
ahead.
Spider-Man is number 1.
Yep.
Tomb Raider's number 2. All right, the last 3 and 4 are tricky.
Don't play with your heart.
I wanted.
Don't play with your heart. Be smart about this.
I'm gonna say Dragon Quest.
Oh, come on. Come on.
I don't know.
And then Spyro. Well, here's the thing working against Spyro.
Dragon Quest XI's on PC. It's gonna sell better than
Wow.
Spyro.
No, nothing ever. Like when you say that,
Dragon
it's,
Quest wasn't just Dragon Quest.
that was like the Destiny 2 argument. Like
Dragon
just
Quest doesn't sell as well
also
in the
being
West
on
as the
PC
argument,
doesn't like
and
help.
then Dragon Quest 9 came along, was
Dragon
on like
Quest
a
is-
popular
yeah.
system.
Dragon Quest is 3. Spyro's 4. I'm locking it.
Just be lucky that the Unreal Engine for Dragon Quest 11 was outdated for the Switch. Otherwise, this would be a really hard one to guess for number 1.
That's the reason it's not ported to Switch. Is the Unreal
You
Engine
didn't hear
is too
about that?
old?
They actually gave the actual answer.
No.
It was just incompatible with the versions that can run on Switch or something. So they're working on fixing that and getting it to run on the Switch, and they
Long way
need
off.
more time.
Why, it's like
Year off.
Unreal 3. Is that the idea?
I don't know the specifics. It
Okay.
said, it's Unreal something. No, it's Unreal 4. It's a version of Unreal 4 that
What's the problem? Come on.
it's apparently it's outdated.
Outdated. Okay.
This-
They couldn't update it.
That's
couldn't install
the
the updates.
explanation they're giving.
All right.
Anyway,
Really? Oh, so another thing we should say about NPDs is they do revenue, and so if you're a $40 game, you have to sell 1/3 more to meet
Yeah.
what everybody else does.
I'm confident then.
Dragon Quest 11
Lock
at
it
Square
in.
Enix tax, baby.
Jones, you got a guess on this?
I'm with you both said the same thing, right? Are we all in agreement?
Spider-Man 1, Shadow of Tomb Raider 2,
Yeah.
Dragon Quest 3, Spyro 4.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Lock it.
We haven't really the train hasn't really left the station with the Dragon Quest 11 advertising. Am I wrong?
You are correct. You are right.
Train
We're
left it-
seeing
it hasn't- the
maybe
steam
like a
hasn't
clip here and
started,
there,
man.
some
Yeah.
screenshots and stuff like that.
We need a big push for Dragon Quest
E3.
now. Like
That's what I like about this question is like, before when these games were announced for September, before Spider-Man, it was like, oh, good for you. That's a good month for you. Like Tomb Raider, like, oh, that's perfect for you. Now that Spider-Man is the beginning of September, like, sorry, September's AAA now. That's crazy.
Yeah, we need a big Dragon Quest.
think there's
push.
no room for Dragon
I'm worried
Quest.
that they don't believe in it enough to push it hard right now.
Yeah, I don't
when
think they will.
really now is the time when all these franchises have had huge numbers. Think of Monster Hunter, think of Yakuza.
Yeah.
Now is
Yeah.
really the time to push Dragon Quest, but I'm worried that like even when they were talking about the Switch version, they said the 3DS version
It's the best-selling version.
is the best-selling version
Japan.
Wow.
in Japan,
Yeah.
but they're not gonna bring it
They don't
over
even
here.
care. Yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So I mean, now we're getting like bad information, bad news.
And honestly, I think Kingdom Hearts is going to eat up that Square Enix budget. Why wouldn't you put all your marketing money into that game that you know is a surefire hit?
well, even Tomb
They
Raider, that's
can
still Square
market
Enix, right?
multiple
Oh, it
games.
is too.
They
Yeah.
can market multiple games at the same time.
You only have some money, Damiani. You got to
They're
split
still
that budget.
Look how much they're still putting into 15 because they're taking it seriously, like doing a PAX East panel and like pushing that
got
stuff.
that worldwide brand name.
I
Final
think Square Enix
Fantasy.
is
Yeah.
capable of doing like multiple campaigns at the same time.
They are, but it's not going to be a big campaign.
Oh, Dragon Quest!
I don't think it's gonna be big.
I'll be realistic. Dragon Quest 11's campaign will not be that big.
Yeah.
Oh, it will not be.
I kind of want to put it in last. I
That's
kind of want to
why
put it fourth
I
place.
loved what Ni no Kuni 2 did, man. That's all it took. That one trailer at PSX, it gave
announcement trailer,
Yeah,
yes.
it gave it its moment.
Yes.
And that's all it needed. Like,
Oh yeah.
so many people jumped on the hype train. It's like Dragon Quest 11 needs that just one moment.
It's just
leading
that
up.
gameplay trailer they put out, and like people were already complaining about like the text bubble stuff they redid or whatever. not looking as good as the original Japanese version.
All right. Okay. Little text bubbles.
Top 10 text bubbles.
I got a temptation to undersell Tomb Raider as well. I don't know if Tomb Raider is going to blow up this year.
I don't think it's gonna blow
Yeah.
up, but I still think
I don't
it's-
know what game you're talking about. It's not a game. It's
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, what are we? What cause do we have to know what the hell that game's gonna be like at all?
It is coming this month. To be fair, I think we're going to see
Right.
that this month. Yeah.
So it's just in this part right now, where we're standing right now.
Shake it up.
It's hard to tell.
What?
Let's do Spider-Man 1.
Yes.
Still. Spyro number 2.
Yes.
Hey,
This is my temptation. Yes.
no.
Shout out to Tomb Raider 3.
Yeah.
Dragon Quest 11 4.
Well, you said it out loud, so if it happens, there it was right there.
I can see Spyro doing very well.
Crystal Ball.
Tomb
Tell me
Raider's
the
still Tomb
truth.
Raider.
Tomb Raider wishes it could get 45,000 likes on a screenshot. Tomb Raider wishes it could do
Dude,
that.
it's gonna show one trailer and everyone's gonna freak out because games right now
right,
are
we're gonna redo this
beautiful
again.
and ridiculous.
What is
and
happening in that trailer?
amazing.
What are you even imagining that makes
Some
people
giant tomb or something.
Okay.
And some
You know
double
what?
pistols.
That would work.
like
Kyle.
What do you got? All right, we got a new
I'm not
order from
concerned.
Damiani.
Could Spyro be, because it's multi-platform,
Yeah.
could sell more than Spider-Man?
No.
Why not?
Spider-Man
Spider-Man's too
is just
hype.
going to do bonkers.
It's
Yeah.
too high.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's one
Yeah.
of the top selling
Yes.
games.
We're talking
of
marketing
the year.
budget. That's just like,
Yeah.
it's too big to fail at this point. They're
Yeah.
spending too much money on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I had to push a little bit. Just
Yeah.
one challenge.
It's like Destiny 2 style marketing budget.
Yeah.
Like
Challenge
they're
it
just
just a
putting.
little bit.
It's the horizon of this year.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
there. All eggs are in that basket.
Yeah.
I do appreciate you challenging that, Damiani. You got to present the other side.
Like, it's going to be Spider-Man and then the other 3 games.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Spider-Man outsell all the others combined.
I think so.
Okay.
Ooh, I won't go that far.
Dude, I
Maybe
just
Raider-
want to reiterate. Do you know what game I thought about a lot this week? It was not Red Dead Redemption. It was Spider-Man, man. I'm getting shakes, man. I
Are
want to
you?
play
So you're
that
checking out the
so
stuff?
bad.
The swing stuff. Did you watch the swing video?
I watched everything
Nice.
multiple times,
I
man.
watched-
Combats. I watched GIFs for like 5 minutes straight, just the same looping
Yeah,
10
me too.
second
That-
animation.
yeah,
Like,
I watched a GIF for like 10 minutes of him swinging.
they're both gonna be great, but I'm getting that one first, and so I'm just
Yeah.
I can't help it. It's like I'm excited for E3, I'm excited for Comic-Con, I'm excited for PAX. Like this summer's gonna be great. I don't want to like go past these events, but I'm like, Eric Cartman with the Wii right now. I want to just climb up a mountain and bury myself in the snow and just wait.
I'm coming for you. Damian, it looked like you had one last thought before we move on.
Something about Dragon Quest 11. Let's say something
Positive
amazing.
about Dragon
Yeah.
Quest 11?
Give us something.
The fact that it's coming on PC
Is
I think it's gonna help a lot. It's gonna
You know
do.
what?
like,
it will. I was downplaying it. You're totally right. It will
I
help.
think that's gonna help a lot, and I think you'll be surprised with this one, even if they don't put as big of a budget behind the marketing effort for this. I think word of mouth will start to pick up in Dragon Quest 11 as we get closer to release.
Sure.
Don't sleep on it.
But
It's a beautiful looking
such
game.
a crowded
Don't
month,
sleep
though. Like I
on
wish they just
Dragon
moved that to
Quest.
August. It's like, come on, get out
Oh.
there. Moving to Kiwami 2's time. It was Kiwami 2 September.
August.
Oh yeah, moving to Kiwami 2's time frame. Come on.
Yeah, that's a good. Like, let those two games fight.
Yeah.
yeah. I don't feel
Let them just
good.
live and love together.
I don't feel good with it fighting Spider-Man. Hi, allies. So I have a relative who loves games but has a big problem. He's in prison. In a way, it's been good. He's gotten his priorities straight, taken responsibility for his decisions, and finished up his GED. But for the next 3 to 4 years, he has no way to enjoy his favorite hobby. My wife and I can send him letters, books, and magazine subscriptions. God bless those still in print. But he doesn't have much else. So my question is this. If you were stuck in a cell with just a pen, notepad, and limited access to media, how would you explore your love for gaming? Genuinely asking for a friend? Thanks for your time, love and respect, Cloisterance.
Fascinating question.
Yes.
I'm a horrible artist. So I would work on just all day, every day, just drawing Resident Evil monsters. That's what I would start
Dude,
on.
You can send him books, right?
You can send him some books. So I read there was another comment beneath it actually, and this is not like for that reason where I'm making up the other things. I was actually reading deeper into that. Yeah, there's some books like instructional books that are okay, but like some books the prison will not allow you to put in.
Just any tabletop.
Oh, like
Tabletop,
D&D,
baby.
you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or just Vampire
That's game
Masquerade,
design.
or
Yeah.
anything.
You're right. Even if you're just reading it, like obviously you're not playing with a lot of other people. Maybe the
But like he was saying, just pen and paper,
Yeah.
like draw out, maps, maybe like be inspired and make your own, and
Mm-hmm.
like create your own world, or, get some campaigns ready and get good at that, get knowledgeable about the rules. And so you come out of that, being, I just think that's fascinating. And I think it just seems to be growing more and more with popularity just across like the whole social spectrum of gaming.
Yeah. Damiani, what would you do?
I would either write fan fiction about like if you like the
Excellent.
story element of it, like
Yeah.
you're not gonna know what happens in these series. So one, you could write like your own stories about like how would I want this to go after if you've already experienced these games up to the point you were put in prison. It's like, okay, I'm gonna come up with some original stories. How I'd like to see this go. I would actually like spend time coming up with like cool ideas for where like what I think the next game in the series is gonna be like, and tell the people on the outside, do not tell me what the sequel is gonna be like.
Yeah.
I want to try and envision it. I'm gonna write a bunch of ideas when I come out. I want to see what it's like, and then you're gonna come out and be like, Skylanders is my favorite series, and I imagine all these new toys and stuff, and then you're like, there's a Spyro Reignited trilogy coming out, and like, what? I didn't even...
What have they done to my toys?
Yeah, you actually you're like, no, what if?
You said Skylanders is my favorite series.
Yeah.
Like, well, there's no toys.
There's
in
no
this.
toys for this. No, but like on a serious note, like like coming up with that would be kind of fun. It's like keeps you excited for like that day you get out, because like I gotta know what I thought of and what really happened.
Yeah, I think magazines are clutch. Game Informer's good. What's like Edge is a really good magazine still. I love those, and you're getting to keep up to date on things. It would take me back to like my childhood / teenage years, where screenshots are all you had, and it was up to your imagination after that. But yeah, it's hard for me. I wonder if I'd be cool with like, I used to love designing levels, and still I like run stuff through my mind of like games I would design. I wonder if that would get tiresome. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to believe in yourself for that long. And so like, I wonder if I'd be cool with that. What's up, Damiani?
So I'd be kind of worried that the guards and stuff would see that stuff and think I was like drawing escape plans and stuff.
No, you could do like you could
Drawing
do
like maps and stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, what's this here? Oh, it's my new design for Final Fantasy 16. This is what I call the Cool Winds Pasture Field Zone. That shape there looks a little similar to
The yard.
the yard over there. Is that the
yard.
workout facility over there?
was-
What you planning?
inspired by the yard. No, it's
I don't know.
books are cool.
You make a way out.
There are good gaming books. I wonder, like, it is the complicated thing of like the prison gets to look at the book and say, nah, we can't put this one in. That makes things complicated. So yeah, I think instructional books are like a easy way if those get in. Yeah, there's some cool ones like that.
So yeah. Oh man, I just forgot
Concept
about
art.
Yeah, I
Dude,
forgot about
it's such
like,
a
the-
big part of games. Like just
Yeah.
drawing. I would just try to draw.
Yeah.
the like good literature written about video games, like is it Game Over, History of Nintendo one. I'm forgetting, like one of them was
Blood, Sweat, and Pixels.
yeah,
Oh, there's
like,
so many.
yeah, like that
there's so
stuff.
many,
Like
yeah.
you can actually take this chance to like get like caught up on like history of games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, even like going back like and reading, because you'd have to wait a new month for each new magazine. Maybe like if you get something more frequently, you can get like old like magazines. Like, I'm kind of curious about like what people said and covered on like this game. I don't know. Get more informed.
Ooh, if you could send in old EGMs, that'd be
yeah,
so fun. Yeah.
I mean, it'd be kind of like I can see some benefit in that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. I mean, 3 to 4 years is a long time. It's gonna be miserable, but it's cool that you're supporting your family member. Yeah,
And
it's,
when they get out, PlayStation 5.
yeah,
Yeah.
Let's do it.
easily. Yes, yeah.
I will be waiting for you.
Oh, can you imagine just catching up on 5 years of video games?
I can't.
Yes, I
catch
can.
up on like.
I can't do it, dude. I can't do it, dude. Yeah. Oh, and like the
But
pressure
you
of
skip all the bad
society, too.
stuff, you know?
It's
It's just
like,
like, oh, what about this one? Oh, no, that wasn't. Yeah, the hype turned out to be false. I usually don't do that. You know? Oh, okay.
yeah, you know what? Skip Spider-Man.
People didn't like Peter Parker's hair. It was a weird thing. They just they really hung up on it.
Let's do a really quick game before we wrap up. I think we can blow through this game. This is kind of fun. All right. There can only be one is the name of this game.
Highlander.
I love that.
It's on Amazon Prime right now. Can I go? Yeah, go do it. Get in there.
Oh, okay. So, shoot, I don't know if I want to play the game this way. I don't like this game lives, this game dies.
That's intense.
Yeah, I refuse.
Yeah. I just want to. We're going to determine which earns the acronym. Which one earns it? So, example is GOW. Is that God of War or Gears of War? Who earned it?
Oh, God of War.
War.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think today you could give it to God of War. You're
Yes.
right.
You
I
know
think
what,
for a
though?
while it was Gears.
You know what? When I think of God of War, though, I think of the entire name. I think of God of War.
So you would never type out GOW?
I would never type out GOW for God of War, but I would for Gears of War.
No, you type Gears. When you say Gears, everybody knows exactly what series you're
I
talking
say
about.
God of War. I don't say GOW or GOW.
Well, for most of these, that's not going to be the case, actually.
If I wrote you an email and said it and didn't specify and you weren't sure, you would probably think of
yeah.
God of War first. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Gotcha.
Let's give it to God of War.
Let's do it.
Gonna get harder. MK
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
or Mario Kart.
No way.
No.
No.
Way.
No way?
Even like with Nintendo stuff like MK will always first
Yeah,
and foremost
let's play
be
MK.
Mortal Kombat.
My brother.
Okay.
Let's play a couple games of MK.
Actually, yeah, for sure.
All right.
Because what I would also say too, I would rarely say Mario Kart. I would say Double Dash. I would say, like specifically, they had a lot of.
No, they stopped
tiny
doing it
names.
because Mario Kart 8 is the most recent Mario Kart game.
Yeah.
I don't see many people abbreviate.
Or even just Kart.
Why don't we say MK8? It's because of Mortal Kombat. It's way faster to say MK8 Deluxe than it is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But yeah, we absolutely stick with that.
Because that game also has like MK, like Mortal Kombat games have MK all over the place too.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah,
It's good.
Yeah.
Good branding. ME
Mass Effect.
or Mirror's Edge.
No Mass
Mass
Effect.
Effect.
Mass Effect.
Sorry.
That's an easy one.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
Mirror's Edge.
Yeah.
Respect.
RR. Raving Rabbids.
No.
Or you don't even want to hear the second one?
Red Ribbon. Red Ribbon Army.
Ridge Racer.
I don't think either, but that's cool. Yeah, Red Ribbon Army.
I'm going with Red Ribbon Army.
RR,
Yeah.
it's Red Ribbon Army. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball.
It's another Dragon Ball.
Oh
thing.
no! Bringing it back.
Yeah, that's all
circle.
I'm seeing now. Well, I mean, the first thing.
Full
No, let's be real. The first thing I
circle.
thought of was Railroad. So it's like,
Isn't that
what's the
RRA?
Railroad game?
What's up?
Monopoly.
Yeah, Monopoly.
What's up?
It's RRA, right? It was Red Ribbon Army.
No, in the show, it's
The symbol is
RR.
just RR. It
Yeah.
looks like a little bow tie.
Yeah.
It's
SM.
what?
SM. Super Mario
No, it's
would
Super Mario SMB. SMB.
or Shenmue.
No,
Get out. You're done. You're done.
Get out.
Because denied.
I think you gotta give it to
Denied.
Mario, right?
No one says SM for Super Mario.
So neither of those earned it,
Neither.
right?
Yeah.
Neither
It's
of
always
those
like the
earned it.
original ones are SMB.
Okay, all right.
SMB 1, SMB 2, SMB 3.
Secret of Monkey Island.
Nobody earned it. Okay.
There's like Secret of Mana, maybe? Where's the O?
Was that just a way to get Shenmue in there? Because
I think so. Made
Love
it
and respect.
two different words. Yeah. Okay.
Respect.
Be great to spell it like two words, like SHANMOO. Shanmu. Oh, looks good.
Yeah.
DS.
Nintendo DS.
Nintendo
Well,
DS.
Demon Souls or Dead Space. By the way, why
too
not
many
Dark
people
Souls?
say Souls.
Souls is it's always
I
Souls.
feel like people call it Souls.
Or
So we're giving
Demon
that to Dead Space?
It's either Souls or Demon Souls.
No, it's
for-
Nintendo
for
DS.
sure.
No, yeah.
Get
you're,
out of
you're
here,
never, you're
everyone.
never, for
It's
the rest of my
DS.
life, you're never going to say DS to me, and I'm going to think
Yeah,
of anything
okay.
other than.
All right, so we're giving
Nintendo
that
DS.
to Nintendo
Yeah,
DS.
we're
Yeah,
overriding
Nintendo
that.
DS.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
Nintendo.
overridden. Okay. AC
Assassin's Creed.
Creed.
or Animal Crossing.
Nope. Assassin's Creed.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
AC Origins, AC Syndicate,
Yeah,
AC
AC.
Red Flag.
Because there were so many
I thought
for
I had
sure.
shot out the other way.
names
Okay.
associated
They
with
even
those
use
games that it was
AC,
always
but-
AC
yeah.
this.
SC
StarCraft.
or Super Castlevania.
StarCraft.
No.
SC2.
Soul Calibur.
SC2 all the time. StarCraft
SC
2
is
games.
StarCraft.
Quick, SC2? SC2?
I'm
Yeah.
I'm
S-
hearing Soul Calibur.
SC?
No, SC is StarCraft.
StarCraft.
Okay.
All right.
Soul
I'll buy it.
Calibur was
Sure,
always
sure.
like
SC question mark?
Sorry?
SC? Like anytime I'm online, like, want a game? SC? StarCraft?
You're talking to a friend. You
Yeah.
type SC question mark, and that friend knows what you're talking
Exactly.
about. Okay,
knows.
all right. Then
Yeah.
it earned it. Then
Yes.
it earned it.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah.
MP, Mario Party or Max Payne.
This is a really tricky one.
Yeah.
This is a really
Yeah,
close call.
I just have like because of my bias, it's Mario Party, but I can definitely see like it being either or.
I think neither of these games are referred to by their acronym.
No.
I agree.
I think we're in that realm now where none of these games really are.
Which earns it more, though? Which earns it more? Who deserves it?
Mario Party probably for me.
Yeah, I'll give it 5149 Mario Party.
That's a good split.
Yeah,
Good split.
shoot. I think I would have given Max Payne. Okay, SF
Street Fighter.
or Star Fox.
No.
Nah,
Street Fighter.
Okay.
Star Fox.
That's from Ian at Alexander Arts. But below that comment, we got a bonus one. I want to toss.
Bonus.
Somebody thought like, hey, this is fun. I'll do one too. BB.
Alexander Arts.
BB.
I already thought Blaze Blue, but that's because it's most current.
Bloodborne or Bubble Bobble. This is from Tyler Travis, by the way. Thank you, Tyler.
Neither.
Neither get both,
Neither.
BB? What was the one that Damiani said?
Blaze Blue.
Blaze Blue is BB, yeah.
Sure, okay.
Yeah, Blaze
There
Blue.
you go. There it is.
Yeah.
We did it.
Yeah, and I insulted Blaze Blue enough last week, so this makes up for it.
Okay, good,
Yeah,
good
okay,
call.
you're BB.
Good call. BB-8.
Cool.
BB-8. That's where my mind went
yeah.
immediately.
I was like, where's the number? Nope. Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
Oh, you know who's a cute BB? Kill Bill. Your daughter.
Hey,
BB.
kiddo.
What?
BB?
It's Kill Bill.
Kiddo's baby is
Kiddo's
named BB?
Beatrix.
Whatever. Beatrix is her last name.
No, it's like her first name is BB. It's like
Yeah.
B
Oh,
dot
okay.
B dot is her name.
Oh, got it. Really?
Yeah.
And her last name's
just
Kiddo.
saw it.
Her last name is
Yeah.
Kiddo. Got it.
Beatrix
Yes.
Kiddo.
Yep. And that's the reveal. It's like, oh, that's her last name.
No spoilers.
Oh my
Kill Bill.
gosh. Kill Bill spoilers are on the table.
Yeah, hope you watched it.
I don't like Hubert. I don't think
That's
I'm
a
ever gonna
weird
rewatch it. Jones, I don't think I'm ever gonna be able to watch that movie again because of Uma Thurman talking about how like she almost died driving that car.
It's I have fast forward through that scene. That's a tough
Did
shot
you
to watch now.
fast-forwarded through
After
it?
you've
Yeah.
watched that shot,
Yeah.
if you've seen that footage of her hit that tree,
Yeah.
that shot is hard to watch because she's having such a great time driving around.
Yep.
She's just a good actor, man.
Edit it out.
Like she's miserable right
terrified.
there. Yeah, and she's still like, okay, I'll do this long dumb monologue. Here we go. I don't think I can watch that movie. Okay, anyway, it's time for bets. Next week's bet, Yakuza 6, The Song of Life, will be released on April 17th. At this point next week, what will the trophy percentage be for the trophy called I'll Have Calamari? Defeated the Emperor Squid. Currently, that trophy percentage is at 17.6%, meaning that the reviewers of this game,
And the people that got the game
through other
through
means,
weird downloads.
yeah,
Downloading the demo.
didn't get that trophy. 17.6% is the active trophy percentage. Huber is among them. You got that trophy.
I have it.
What? How big is an emperor squid? Give me an amount of feet.
Have you seen that episode of Baywatch with the giant squid?
No.
I mean, it's a little smaller than that.
Giant squids in the world.
It's a little smaller than that. Feet. Give me an amount of feet.
I don't know.
How big is an emperor squid?
How many Hasselhoffs is it?
For what I'd never watched Baywatch growing up, but for whatever reason, in my household, that 2-part giant squid episode was like making the rotations in my house.
Wow.
Like I won't forget it. Again,
two-parter of
it was
Baywatch.
we didn't watch Baywatch in my house, but for whatever reason, I guess it was an event.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we watched that.
So, I mean, I know you won't give me feet, but like, let's talk like 6 feet of the main squid part and then 6 feet of tentacles. Is that unrealistic?
Yeah, at least it's pretty big.
In the game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's not it's not a spoiler, but it's like a first-person light gun section.
That sounds like a
That sounds
spoiler.
terrifying.
Sick, dude.
I mean, it's all the
Whoa.
mini game. There's
That's a
so
minigame?
many
Got it.
mini games
Okay, so it's a
in
cool
Yakuza.
minigame. Cool.
So one of the mini games is a light gun deep sea diving thing.
That's so fun.
It's so fun.
And the like Huber's
It's
like
so fun.
There's like a deep story involved too. It's
Yeah.
never just a mini game.
Yeah, it's never just a mini game.
Jones.
There's always,
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the trophy percentage for that?
12%.
Yeah, so just to be clear to everybody, we assume it's gonna drop when the masses get the game from the reviewers, but that's never a safe call. Huber, what's your bet?
Say 14%.
Nice. Damiani?
7.8%.
Ooh.
Wow. And I said 9.2%. Let me lock those
I
in.
got the high one. Yes.
Yeah, you got the high one. Yes. And it's the high one always wins for trophies. We always think that it's not going to happen, and then
Those trophy hunters.
trophy hunters get them. Yep. Last week's bet was we bet about Spider-Man's release date. Very little drama behind this one because we said it multiple times throughout this podcast. Damiani, do you remember what your bet was?
September 7th.
No, you wish you got it on the exact date.
Oh, 4th, 3 days away.
Yeah, you bet
sorry.
on September 4th, and the actual
Yeah.
date was September 7th. Everyone else very far off. Myself, the farthest. Damiani, you get a point then. So that brings us to the Red Grouse 5. Gorgeous Gorillas 7.
Wow, I think we have to redo that one.
Sorry.
I kind of like that. It was like an echo. It was like coming at me.
To me, it was like a beer commercial. It's like, it's like Gorgeous
Got
Gorilla
my
beer. Yeah, Gorgeous Gorilla beer. Droopy Eagle 5. Damiani. Oh, we'll get there. I want to plug Patreon again.
Oh, yeah.
I know we got a little bit of it with a little tease about that Cup of Jones, but let me tell you something. You know what? I had a whole thing written up. I had a statement written up, Jones, because of all the flack that I got for last week. Jones, let me ask you this.
I love hearing about you getting flack. Go on.
Oh, I got a lot of flack. Let me ask you this, Jones. Do you think it would be unfair for me on the podcast to be like Netflix and say, I don't care if you share your early access to this podcast?
It's a little weird.
Is it weird? I think it'd be cool. Like, I think that that's a way to like spread awareness, and like I feel like that's a better way to get more people to do it than like otherwise. Okay, so we have two
It's just a
different sides
size
of
issue. We're just not. We want to grow. We're not that big.
That's Netflix wants to grow.
Netflix.
Oh, it's
Dude,
HBO Go.
Netflix, this is
HBO Go
us,
says
okay?
share your codes.
HBO Go does.
Netflix says do not share
Yeah.
your
I
codes.
was gonna say,
HBO Go
we're
is
But
like,
everybody does it
whatever.
anyway. Like everybody shares those codes. You know, I just feel because
Right.
basically, Jones, when people were like, I can't believe he like told everybody the secret of Patreon. And when I'm feeling like Patreon doesn't have a secret. Like to me, Jones, Patreon is easily exploitable. You know what I mean? Like people can just
sure.
put
Yeah,
the links up on 4chan. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like people just get it.
Right.
But to me, like Patreon exists and works because of like generosity. You know what I mean? It's not like we're tricking people into paying us, and like we're not
I mean,
selling
we
you
would
videos.
love to. We just haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, people just give us money because like I think the things that I like to give money to, it just feels good, and I just want to like make a thing that people feel good giving money to is basically that's the Cliff's Notes of the statement I wrote.
Play by the rules, everybody.
Play by the rules.
No,
I
I'm
never-
saying okay. Jones says play by the rules. I'm saying you have a friend from work. And you're just like, hey, if you want to buy me lunch tomorrow, I'll give you the early access to the Easy Allies podcast. And then maybe eventually that person loves the podcast as much as you do, And then you both enjoy it more. You're enjoying that podcast early access more if you're sharing it with a friend.
I certainly encourage people to let other people they like know about the Easy Allies, or Easy Allies in general. And
Okay.
if your
Yeah.
gateway, you think the best way, the introduction is through the podcast, then I do what you got to do.
I like
But
your choice of words, Jones. Yeah.
agree,
I'm glad we
Jones.
have both these sides on the podcast too. I'm glad we have those. You got a third perspective, Damiani?
No, I was gonna say I like listen to your argument and stuff, but if what Jones says, and for that reason, I'm out.
Okay, fine. All right.
Did you get it out of your system? Can we
Yeah.
get back to
Yeah, exactly.
the way things should be done now,
but
Kyle?
yeah, I want to say, hey, if you are a $5 patron of this podcast, you get it 2 days early. You get that code, not code, you get a link, but you also get an RSS feed, and so you can just get it automatically up into your phone every single week, 2 days early. So check out patreon.com/easyallies to see all of the things that we can offer you. Michael Damiani, you won the bet. I should give you more credit. You were 3 days off. That was awesome.
Everyone, yeah, I remember you were like be bold or like what was your thing? You were upset with someone.
Optimistic,
and
Yes.
you picked July or something.
I picked June,
and
Damiani.
everyone else picked later, and you're like that's not optimistic.
It was not optimistic.
Yeah, you weren't very optimistic.
Can I offer a completely worthless comment?
Please.
I would have totally bet September. It bummed me that was the podcast
Look
I
at
missed.
that.
I think I would have lost because it
channeled
ended up being
Jones.
7th and you said 4th, and I probably would have
yeah.
gone like 10th or 11th
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something. So I probably would have been just but I was
Oh, would have tied, Jones.
When it got announced.
Yeah.
It's that seat right there.
Yeah.
It's got some magic.
Magic
No
seat.
kidding.
Yeah.
Magic seat.
Magic seat. So you get the right and responsibility to share your Twitter handle with the world. You get to promote any Easy Allies video you would like to promote. You get to sign off with your trademark sign off, and you get the final word on anything you've disagreed with, want to reiterate, or just thought of right now in this moment.
Sure. You can follow me. Twitter handle actually changed recently.
Wait, really?
Yeah, because the one I wanted became available after for a long time.
Were you checking? You were like spamming it every day?
No, I wasn't checking every day. I'd messaged this guy who had it, or whoever it was had it. I was like,
This is exciting.
because it was like an old account. They hadn't used it forever. I was like, hey, do you mind just either changing your name to something random or whatever. Like, I was like, I kind of like this nickname and stuff. Kind of like I use it and stuff, and just never heard a reply. I was like, all right, they're never gonna change.
What year was that? When did that happen?
That I did it once in the last few months, and then once back at game trailers.
Okay.
So
Years in the
twice.
making.
Years back.
So anyway, the handle is at Damianicus. So it's my last name,
Ooh,
and then add
nice.
CUS at the end.
Well, spell your last name.
DAMIANI, then CUS.
Damianicus.
There's some
nice,
lore
dude.
behind that. What's next? Oh yeah, video. I want to promote something we are gonna start doing weekly here, called it's now Easy Allies Clips, and I want to promote it because you should check it out and give us your feedback on it. Is basically a compilation of clips of our Twitch streams from the previous week, and those clips are provided to us by you in the community. So if you have, I think you need a Twitch account to do them. I think you can't do them as a guest, but I could be correct on that. But just go to any of our VODs or during any actual live stream, and if you use the clip functionality, it creates a clip for us, and I go through those at the end of the week, and I will pick a bunch of those to put into a compilation to basically be a highlight reel of what you missed in the past week. Some of you said, hey, I just don't have time to watch all your streams.
I certainly don't.
Some of you are like, I just want to see, like, hey, I want to see like why I should watch these, and we feel these will be good. But as I said,
Dude, you're watching Kill Bill instead of my streams. You could have put Kill Bill aside. You could have watched Uma Thurman be safe and some other thing, but instead you decided to watch Kill Bill again.
You missed so many moments from Kyle's stream.
You could have watched Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Oh, Chamber of Secrets.
He had a part he found disturbing.
But yeah,
He had a discussion about Hufflepuff.
Damiani, I feel like you put on a voice where you're like underselling it. It's a very entertaining video.
Yeah.
It's basically so people can just make clips live as we stream, and then you just assemble like it's a best of streaming of Twitch in a given week, and it's fun. It's a fun.
Very
video.
good way to put it, Kyle.
Yeah.
My favorite moment was Ben beating that vampire.
Oh, yeah.
With one member of his,
His
party.
entire
like,
party
three
dead.
codes,
Last
like,
hit, the JRPG last hit before you're about to die is
It's a
good
if
moment,
winning
yes.
is like
Home
the
run.
best feeling.
Yeah.
So check it out. Leave us your feedback, and we're gonna keep evolving it till we get to a point that we all feel good about, both us and the community. Point or something, last word or something.
Last word. Yep.
I don't really disagree or anything like that. I want to back up and just like clarify that when I was talking about LawBreakers, I forgot to point out it is it's a hero shooter. They were a little late to the party, so I think I might have framed it as they were like I thought I was saying like it was like a battle royale game. I apologize, but I think they're trying to do a better job this time by capitalizing faster and sooner and being a part of that trend before it's just too late and you kind of missed the window. So, and I hope they do better this time. So a little bit more, I'm way more optimistic about
the game you can't remember the name of.
I
I think it's gonna do well.
I wanted to say Instant Rain, but I was like
Radical Heights.
Radical Heights.
Radical
It's
Heights.
like I'm so off. I
Instant
apologize.
Rain is. We gotta trademark that.
Yeah, Instant Rain.
It's so cool. Instant Rain is so cool, Damiani. Oh my! Just like walking outside, just imagine. Like Instant Rain.
That's the mechanic.
Dude,
but-
it's such a battle royale name
sorry,
too.
yes.
Such a battle royale name. Instant Rain.
But yes, everyone at Bosque, I have high hopes and wish you the best with this new endeavor. And my sign off: may the way of the hero lead to the Triforce.
I am enjoying these microtransactions.